Title: Making HTTP calls from A.NET Core API. Introduction. Hello and welcome to this tutorial on making HTTP calls from A.NET Core API. In this video, we will discuss how to create an HTTP client and make a request to a third-party API using the HTTP client class in .NET Core. Step 1. Creating an HTTP client. The first step is to create an instance of the HTTP client class, which is used to make HTTP requests to remote servers. You can create an instance of the HTTP client class by calling its constructor as shown below. !:\C# var client equals new HTTP client. Step 2. Making an HTTP GET request. Now that we have an HTTP client, we can use it to make HTTP requests to remote servers. To make an HTTP GET request, we can use the getAsync method of the HTTP client class as shown below. !:\C# var response equals await client. getAsync https://js on placeholder.typico.com/todos/1. In this example, we are making an HTTP GET request to the JS onPlaceholder API to retrieve a single Todo item with an ID of 1. The getAsync method returns an HTTP response message object that contains the response from the server. Step 3. Handling the HTTP response. Once we have received the HTTP response, we can handle it by checking the status code and extracting any data from the response. Here is an example of how to handle the response. !:\C#. If response is success status code. var content equals await response. Content read as string async. var todo equals JSON convert. Deserialize object content. Do something with the Todo object. Else handle the error response. !:\. In this example, we are checking if the response was successful by checking the isSuccess status code property of the HTTP response message object. If the response was successful, we can extract the response content as a string using the read as string async method of the HTTP content class. We can then deserialize the JSON response into a Todo object using the JSON convert class from the Newtonsoft JSON package. Conclusion. That's it for this tutorial on making HTTP calls from A.NET Core API. We have learned how to create an HTTP client, make an HTTP GET request, and handle the HTTP response. Thank you for watching, and please leave a comment if you have any questions or feedback.